I'm Monique Sorgen, and today I'm going to be reading from my book, How Long You Should Wait to Have Sex, a novel. Chapter 7. He wasn't lying. He literally lives around the corner from Alamo Square. His house is stylish and sparse and demonstrates just the right amount of matchiness. The mood of the place maintains a consistent tone that signifies a man's dominant presence, but hints that a woman has passed through. Furniture is in rich shades of brown, walls painted in soothing earth tones, off-white accents on the Victorian moldings, and giant lush throw rugs you want to dig your toes into, which sit on top of mahogany wood floors. He has the kind of decor that most of us crave but can't afford, demonstrating both taste and humility. Everything is placed as if in a showroom. "I'll take the lamp and the ottoman, please." "Oh, is that really what those retail for? Never mind. I'll just take this piece of complimentary butterscotch candy then." Like everything else about this man, this place is ideal. I tell him so, but he contradicts me. Honestly, it's too much space for just one person. It's much cozier when two people live here. I raise my hand in my mind, silently screaming, "Pick me! I'll move in! I'll fill this space up for you! I'll be just the other person you need." Instead, I say, "You keep it so clean and orderly." I sound more surprised than impressed. "Thanks. I think how a person keeps their place is a good reflection of how much they respect themselves." Note to self, don't invite him over to my apartment. What may seem perfectly livable and cozy to you could appear as a complete lack of self-respect to the man of your dreams. He plugs his iPod into the dock and asks me, "Have you heard of Les Nubians?" "No, what's that?" He turns on the music, and the soft, harmonious tones of two women singing beautiful in what must be some African language fills the house. I can see why he'd choose this as the soundtrack to the romantic moment we would likely soon be sharing. He sways gently to the music, clearly enjoying himself immensely as he lets the rhythm fill his soul. He closes his eyes and goes deeper into his perpetually happy mind as he tells me the significance, with the excitement of a small child who's just discovered that gravity doesn't prevent airplanes from flying through the air with people inside. They're my favorite group. I saw them in France one hot summer night, outdoors, and I felt so alive that the next day I went out and bought all their albums. Their sound is so sensuous. Yes, sensuous. That is exactly the word I would choose to describe this sound. I want to be in that place with him. I think he reads my mind because he takes my hand and leads me into his dance. "What were you doing in France?" I ask, as I fantasize that he'll take me there with him one day. "Eating," he replies unromantically. "I love French food. Are you a good cook?" "I do all right for myself," I brag, while making a mental note to go out and find some French recipes to practice making as soon as I leave this place. He pulls himself away from my embrace just enough to shoot me one of those adorable, vulnerable smiles, which he unknowingly uses to get anything he wants from me. "Maybe you could cook for me sometime." My whole face lights up as my own smile bursts through my cheekbones to my temples, practically erupting my brain. Real future plans, not just the bullshit kind about random things we might do sometime, but actual groundwork for a second date. I know what I'm doing for my birthday now. I'm gonna plan the menu for our next meal. He sees my delight and kisses me again. This time, it's in harmony with the music. Our kiss becomes just one more part of our bodies dancing. We move through the house to the melody provided ubiquitously by the surround sound multi-room speakers, blasting the soundtrack to the next phase of my life. Les Nubians. My new favorite musical styling. I already know that the next time I hear this, it will instantly bring me right back to this experience, to this feeling, to this pure and utter bliss. When I open my eyes again, allowing myself to glance in passing at the reality of the passing moment, I realize that I am in his bedroom. Clearly the master. It is large and spacious, with more than enough empty floor space to accommodate can-can lines of about 7 dancers on either side of the California king-size bed. It is so large, in fact, that those dancers would be able to perform their act without the slightest fear of banging into the dark wood dressers lining the walls or the armchairs arranged in a little conversation nook in the corner. Like everything else I've seen of this man, the layout and color schemes exhibit a pretentious class. Still kissing and pressing up against each other, we fall together onto the bed. I'm facing the master bathroom, which is big and luxurious, with a spa tub directly behind the toilet and across from the bidet. I can see all this because the bathroom has no door. I am instantly disturbed by this. How's that going to work? There's no doubt I'm going to have to tinkle at some point. Let's hope that's all I have to do. But in my blinded kissing, Nubian's enhanced passion, I didn't make a point to locate any other bathrooms on my way to this bedroom. Not that I had any way of knowing that his master bathroom wouldn't have a door. Why wouldn't he have a door? I've seen this design before in fancy hotel rooms, but never without thinking it was a bad idea, and never in a family home. Maybe this is why he and his wife broke up. I mean, it's hard enough to keep the attraction alive in a long-term relationship without having to watch the other person doing their business. In fact, there's nothing that a couple should watch each other do in a bathroom. Even when you're not sitting on the toilet cleaning out your private parts or getting snot out of your nose, you're doing stuff to make yourself look more attractive to your mate. Stuff that's supposed to be secret. Stuff like putting on makeup and styling your hair. Stuff that's supposed to maintain the illusion of perfection that they fell for in the first place. Yeah, I don't want him seeing me do any of that. Men are very visual creatures, so showing them how we get from A to B is the same as pulling back the curtain on a magic show. Sure, we all think we'd like to know how the trick is done, but when we find out, all we've really learned is that magic doesn't exist, and that's depressing. Everyone knows that the key to a successful marriage is separate bathrooms, but it goes without saying that the key to separate bathrooms is closing the doors. Are you okay? He asks me, noticing that my mind has slipped off somewhere. I don't want to bring this up about the bathroom door, but I'm me, so I do. How did you deal with that missing bathroom door when your wife lived here? He glances over his shoulder to see what I'm talking about. Oh, we were married. We didn't care. Weird. This definitely has to do with why they aren't together anymore. There are some things that you just shouldn't know about the person you're supposed to get it up for. Well, now that you're single, I offer, you should probably get a door. He smiles in that way that draws all of my attention back into him and says the one thing that seems to make it all okay. I don't plan on being single for long. He kisses me almost as an extension of the beautiful thing he's just said, and my rigidity about the situation starts to disappear. I have to admit to myself that if he has to have one little flaw, there are worse things than wanting to share the inner workings of your bathroom time with your loved one. It is, after all, a form of intimacy. And if he could be that intimate with his ex-wife, why shouldn't he also be that intimate with me? Not that it won't take me some getting used to, but maybe a small compromise to make in exchange for the rest of the package. And I can always take myself on a self-guided tour of the house once he's sleeping and do a little recon to find the next closest bathroom. Why am I even thinking about bathrooms right now? I am in the arms of a beautiful, committal, happy, positive-thinking, fun-loving man who wants me. Okay, I finally utter weakly as I give in to his gentle kisses and caresses. In a matter of minutes, my clothes have slid off my body, as have his. Now we are naked, vulnerable to each other, with nothing left to hide and nowhere left to hide it. He rolls on top of me, still smiling sweetly into my eyes. As he glides inside of me, I realize that I don't care what he sees of me. I don't care what he knows about me. He can have it all. He will love it all. I trust him. I want him. I finally let my mind disappear into the sensations shooting through every part of my body, and boy, am I glad I have succumbed to them. Best birthday ever! That's the end of Chapter 7, Part 1. Join us next week for Chapter 7, Part 2.